Hi, welcome back to another session of our video blog, and this is trying to change our lifestyle and get down to a weight. I want to warn you today, this is going to be a little bit different blog, just because it's going to be a lot longer than usual, just because I have a lot to say more on the mental health side rather than the weight loss side. But what was our weigh-in today, Ken? Give us an update here.
We're back on track.
Okay.
We're back on track, Bill. This morning we weighed Bill. He was at his lowest ever, 224.6 pounds. Previous to that, his lowest had been 227, so he's dropped 3 pounds from his previous lowest, and 4 pounds from last week. And waist size, we're down to 44 and a quarter inch, which is down almost an inch from last week. So I think we're sort of back on track. We went kind of through a rough plateau, so hopefully that this is going to continue.
Very good.
Like I said, it's been a little bit rough in the last couple of weeks.
So speaking of a rough plateau, I just want to share some stuff with you. You know me as if you've been watching this, and if you know through what I publish through my Z magazine and my DVDs and everything, that I try to be a very transparent person and try to tell it like it is. Well, I had a major mental setback in the last couple of weeks, and I just wanted to share with you about that on the mental side. I know that here this is a lifestyle blog, but as you know, I was diagnosed with schizophrenia in '87. I was hospitalized 6 different times. I lived in 3 different group homes. I had a suicide attempt. And I consider myself as a recovery expert, and my definition of recovery is when you wouldn't want to be anybody else but who you are today. But you know what, about a week ago, I guess I woke up, I've started to fall into that, what I thought was some kind of a depression. I can remember waking up in the morning, and it was hard to get out of bed, and I didn't want to go into work, and I felt kind of that depressive weight on me, that a depression was coming back. I recognized that something was wrong. And even the thing of mountains, when you're depressed, molehills become mountains. Little problems really become mountains. And I kind of pride myself on problem solving, or always knowing that there's always a way and having a solution for things. But I can remember, I was not going to work, and I phoned a friend, and he came over, and I put my pants on because I was basically in the house in my underwear working, not wanting to do anything. And so I put some pants on, and he came over, and we're talking and everything. And what I decided to do, I decided to go to the computer and kind of write out what was going on with myself. And I got to tell you, I think Time magazine came out a couple of years ago with something about what the greatest impact in the world was, what was the greatest invention, or what changed the world the most. And what they said it was the printing press, the being able to print stuff. But what they left out is that you can't have a printing press. A printing press is useless without paper. So really, in my opinion, paper is the real greatest invention, and the feather pen dunked in the ink and everything like that. Because really, paper is really amazing, because when we think, we can think on paper and everything like that. So anyways, what I did is I went to the computer, and I thought I was going through a situational depression, and I sort of listed a bunch of my challenges or my complaints, things like, the house is always a mess, or, maybe a few projects at work didn't turn out the way I planned, or, always running around driving the kids places, or, the yard is a mess, or, my weight loss has stopped. And then I looked, and I wrote down the SSO walk. And what that was, and I think that was the tipping point, is that I went to the Schizophrenia Society of Ontario's, they call it the Walk for Peace, and it's a walk for schizophrenia in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. And I went there last year as well, and I think last year they probably had about 250 people, and they lost their marching band, and it was downsized, and they didn't have a lot of support. And then this year I went again, and the turnout was, there had to be less than 150 people there at the walk. A bunch of organizers, things changed, and the executive director said, there may not be a walk next year, kind of thing. And I thought, you know what, wow, this is really, really a shame that it hasn't taken off and mental. So all these things, that was kind of the tipping point, and so anyways, I thought I was falling into a depression. And I know what to do. I mean, I called my family doctor. I set up an appointment with that to go in and to talk to him. But I also have a good friend who's a good counselor and a former pastor of mine, and we met and we sort of talked, and I sort of listed what was going on and everything like that. And he made a really, really good observation and a really, really good point that I never even thought about. And basically he said to me, he said, Bill, he says, you know what, I don't think you're depressed. And I said, really? And because, one of the things is I came in there and said hi and said, how you doing? And I said, geez, Leonard, I said, I'm a lot better than I was a couple days ago, that's for sure. And then we got problems talking. But what he says, you know what, I don't think you're depressed. He says, I think you're grieving. And I looked at that, and he said, and he turned the paper around, and he said, he says, you're up here, and depression is way down here, but he says, your parents are in the nursing home, you're looking after your parents, which is a sadness or a disappointment there, and maybe the house is messy, it's a disappointment and there, and maybe a few projects that you worked on that didn't work out, and so that goes down there. And really what he was saying is that these were basically sadness or disappointments, not necessarily depression. It's more of a grieving thing. And I thought, wow, that made a lot of sense, and I never even thought about that, and it really makes sense. And really, so the solution is how I do is I have, he said, well, don't call them Bill's complaints, call them Bill's challenges, and look into the solutions. We had the family meeting to discuss these things, work out a solution. And if you know me, I always have the attitude that there's always a way, and that's how I work and think things out. And it just worked out really, really well. And so I'm going to see him. He's going on vacation, and I know that we're into June now, or a couple days will be June 1st, and I'm going to take the summer easy and just relax and do a lot of planning, a lot of thinking, a lot of strategizing for the next part coming up, and still continue with my lifestyle. But I'm very optimistic, and I don't think I have situational depression. I think that things are under control again. At least I recognize them. I knew what to do. And I just wanted to share that with you today on that, because I know a lot of people who watch this blog are dealing with mental illness. And, just because I've been, very successful and everything like that, doesn't mean that, I still can't be vulnerable to my mental illness. But I think that throughout the years I've learned a lot, and I'm smart enough to figure out what to do when I need to do it. And I just wanted to share that with you today. So it's been a little bit of a long blog, but it's good. I'm going down in pounds still, and everything is good.
But you'll notice what Bill did. He recognized, first of all, that he had a problem, and rather than just sitting there stewing, he found support. I'll help Bill with his weight loss, but he needs something beyond that. He went to somebody that he trusted, that's very familiar with counseling and depression, and that's what you need to do. You need support to change your lifestyle in such a way that you become a healthier person physically and mentally, and that's what this is all about.
Absolutely, very good. So we'll see you next time, and hopefully I'll be a few pounds lower, and we'll keep going. And till next time, we'll see you, and wherever you are, have a great summer and a good day.
Bye bye now.
Bye-bye.